photographer is getting ready to open his first gallery in Cle Elum at the historic Bull Durham building. Alex Bogart achieved his lifelong dream of becoming a photographer. Right now, Tyra is in the Arc Lounge with Alex this morning. Tyra, talk about what's going on here.
Yeah, this is amazing, Mo, and congratulations on your gallery opening. This is really incredible, Alex.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. So you are currently an insurance executive, which is already a hard job, and now you're doing something a little more creative as a professional photographer. How do you balance both, and what sparked your interest in photography?
Yeah, good question. So yes, I am in the insurance business. I've been in that business for over 30 years now.
Wow.
I love what I do. I love the team I work with and the customers I serve. But there's another side to my life, as there is to many people's lives. And photography is something I've done for 20 plus years. I kind of grew up around it. When I was young, my family traveled extensively. My father was a photographer in our household, so I got some exposure there. But then kept working at it over the last 20 years on a more serious basis.
20 years of experience, and I love that you're kind of honoring your family's legacy by taking photos. Would you say that you have a certain inspiration for the type of photography you do?
Yeah, there are I'm drawn to two or three things in particular. So my inspirations generally come from nature. And I think if you are willing to wait long enough and look well enough, Mother Nature will give you everything you need to make some beautiful, beautiful artwork. So that's one of them. The other element that I really love is, and this comes through in wildlife photography or portrait photography, is in order to sort of earn the right to take a decent photograph or have the opportunity to take a decent photograph, you have to first establish a sense of confidence with the subject matter. And that elevates the difficulty of the shots significantly. So if we're out in the wild taking shots of grizzly bears or wild mustangs who, given a choice, would prefer not to be around us, right? How do we position ourselves in such a way that they let us be among them so that we get the opportunity to have that experience?
I was just going to ask you that because we've been showing a lot of your photography here on screen. You do photograph a lot of nature, a lot of animals. What would you say are some of those challenges that kind of get in the way of getting that perfect shot?
Yeah, so there are multiples.
Okay.
The first one is access. It's knowing where to be, knowing where they're going to be, and wildlife by its very definition wants to be out in very remote places. So having the ability to get there, having the stamina to get out there, having the patience to, so for instance, for Alaska, I was on basically a stretch of 1 mile beach for a week.
Wow.
Photographing them, right? So it's the patience to go through that exercise.
You gotta have patience.
That maybe gives you an opportunity for a shot.
Okay.
And maybe it doesn't.
And if it doesn't, you just try again.
Try again.
And I was looking through your Instagram earlier and noticed you do take a lot of portraits. There are a lot of self-portraits on there too. How do you go about finding your subjects, real people, and also making them feel comfortable in front of the camera?
Yeah. So some of the shots you might be referring to were from a recent trip when I was in Cuba.
Wow.
And before the camera even comes out, the first phases of the connections with the subject are all about them and all about a genuine curiosity. So if you're in a place like Cuba, the first thing you do is you approach gently, you engage with them, you ask them about them, you try to speak their language, and you'll find that people want to come to your rescue. When you stumble your way through Spanish and they see that you're genuinely interested in them, then the doors open up. And then with permission, if they say yes, you may take a picture, it just changes the way the expressions come through.
What advice do you have for young aspiring photographers who don't have 20 years under their belt?
Great question. Actually, that happened to me yesterday. I had a mom and a 10-year-old that walked into the gallery. And his first words when he walked into the gallery was, "Whoa." And then he stopped, he took 2-3 more steps, and he turned around and he looked at me and he said, "I want to learn."
Oh, wow.
So what I would say to the youngsters who want to, or anybody who wants to start, I would say 4 things. One, just do it. Just go out there and try it. Pick up a camera and go do it. Second, the gear does not make the photograph. So being sensitive not to get caught into a rat race of I need this equipment or that equipment and this expensive stuff. It's amazing what we can do with just an iPhone these days, or a Galaxy phone, for example. Third thing I would say is it isn't about the outcome. It's about the journey to get there. It's about the process. If we hang our hat on outcome, this is a really low result business, high effort, low result. And if you get frustrated with the low result scale, it's going to be a tough road. And then the fourth and final thing I would say is embrace the failure.
Ooh.
And that's useful in all kinds of life. I take that into my own business, for example, and how I think about problems, or whether we try something new that we haven't done before, or how I listen to people now is a little different because of my photography. So I would say those 4 things to somebody who's new.
I mean, that's all great advice, and I really like the second one. Just pick up and get started, and you don't have to have the fancy equipment and the fancy lens to do it. So you've got your gallery open now in Cle Elum.
It's opening. We have a soft opening tomorrow night.
Soft opening tomorrow night. And what else can people expect when they step in?
So the hope with the gallery is multifold. One, I hope that we've been successful in creating a space that's comfortable for people to go into and approachable. So that's the first thing. That's not always the case with galleries. They can be sort of intimidating places. So that's number one. Number two, they will see artwork that is from the local community and from some of my trips.
Nice.
So there's a little bit of everything for people there. The youngster was telling about, his mom texted me after the visit. And she said, just so you know, Jansen wants you to know that his favorite picture was the car. And it's a picture about this tall, it's about almost as tall as he was, of a car in Cuba. So there's a young man who got to see an experience and got to see something that is just from another part of the world. So the gallery assembles all of that and assembles those stories in there. And we hope it's a nice place for people to gather and see those things.
That's incredible. And I'm happy to hear that you're also honoring some other people in the community too with that gallery. Thank you so much for coming in, Alex. That's just great.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Mo, you hear that? We can be professional photographers too. We just have to get started.
Yeah, I mean, I start with this thing. I'm usually proud of the pictures I take and the nature, though. But Alex, I really like how you walk through the process of like developing those pictures, what you're thinking behind it. So, because so much really thought and technique really goes into that. A lot of people may not know.
So much thought and technique. You're right, Mo. Thank you.